Free trials. Should you offer them when you're first starting an agency? You want the short answer? Yes. So go back to watching what you were before. No, but seriously, you'd do well from taking the time to understand why I have this opinion, because not many people do in this industry. And I think at best it is misguided, and at worst it's just stupidity. Because if the only thing standing in your way of getting a yes over a no when you're first starting an agency is offering a free trial, then you absolutely should put one forward. But I think that the agency industry at the moment is at a danger, or new start agency owners specifically. Because what we have right now are countless successful agency owners publicly online sharing their success. 1K retainers, 2K retainers, 5K retainers when they're first starting out. And what it does is it creates this false sense of confidence in the eyes of someone who's just starting out, and also a false sense of self-worth. I'm gonna warn you, I'm going to say some things in this video that'll be harsh truths, and some of these things will be hard to hear for some of you, but I believe that if you've watched my videos for a long time, you'll be able to handle it. And I will always tell you what you don't want to hear for free versus you can pay someone else to tell you what you do want to hear, right? When you're first starting an agency, you're not worth anything to the person that you are pitching. That is the harsh truth. Your biggest challenge is getting that person to trust that you are who you say you are and you can do what you say you can do. Now, when I first started my agency 5 years ago, the industry was a completely different place. We were selling people on a new shiny opportunity. When I was going into my local businesses, they didn't even know what Facebook ads were. So when I was pitching Facebook ads, I was already coming from a state of authority. I'd already gained the trust over somebody because I was teaching them about something that they couldn't understand. So I already had this precursor of trust. Whereas with agency owners now and with business owners, everybody really knows about these services. Most businesses have worked with an agency in the past, maybe they've been burnt by one. So there is a much larger level of natural skepticism among the ecosystem. And so new agency owners have more work cut out for them. Now, there are a bunch of other benefits with the ecosystem right now. There's better education, there's better services, marketing as a whole just works better. But it is harder to get clients when you're first starting out. It's harder to gain that trust. Now, in this video, I am going to give you an entire structure for how you should offer and pre-frame free trials. I'm also going to let you know how you could offer a service that is going to get a very quick win that means you're almost certain to sign a client after a free trial. But first of all, I think it's really important you understand why free trials are so integral to a new start agency owner. And the caveat is not all of you will have to offer them, but some of you will be put in a position where you absolutely have to offer one, and you will be met with the crossroad of your own ego where you decide, am I going to drop my pride here and put case studies over money and put my future over my ego? Because I think the biggest misconception that so many people, and many of you maybe just starting out may have, and I had this when I first started out, is that money is the most important thing when you're first starting an agency. Because we all start online businesses because we want to make money, right? Okay, why would we do it if not? Okay, we're not just doing it for the love of it when we're first starting. You get the love later down the line. But to get through that gritty stage, all those cold calls, you don't want to do that if you're not making money, right? So I only started my agency because I wanted to make more money than I was making in my job, and I wanted a bit more freedom. But very early on, you get humbled when you first started having your first meetings, when you realize you're not going to be able to prioritize it. And what is worth so much more than £1,000 a month retainer or £2,000 a month retainer is a solid case study, is the opportunity to gain experience over delivering a service and confidence in your ability to deliver a service so you can sell it more effectively down the line. That is worth so much more than any amount of money that a client will or will not pay you when you're first starting out. Is that experience and the case study that you can use and leverage to sign up more clients in the future. That is why you should offer trials. I want to tell you a story about how I first met Joe, my business partner today, who owns a significant portion of my agency. When Joe first reached out to me, he was an Olympic Team GB trick skier. He just went through a major accident and he couldn't ski anymore. And so Joe wanted to find something else within that industry. And so he started videography. And at this point, he kind of didn't really see any future in it. And so he was watching videos online. He stumbled across my ad on YouTube, one of my ads, and he saw opportunity in it. And what he did was very clever. He reached out to me on Facebook. He sent me a message and said, Jordan, I've been watching your videos. I resonate with what you're saying, but you really don't have a very good YouTube intro. I think he actually said your YouTube intro is shit. So let me come down to Norwich and let me record one with you for the day, and I'll do it completely for free. And if something comes of it in the future, then great, but if not, then hopefully you've had a good day. And here's me thinking, okay, who's this guy that's just messaged me? He's offered me something for free. He's not expected anything in return. What have I got to lose from this? And so I trusted that judgment, and we met up, we did the video, and literally the rest is history. Over the course of a series of months and years, We got better friends, we got better business relationship. He did more and more work for me, which was paid work. And then eventually I trusted this guy enough to offer him equity in my business and actually buy his agency out so he could run the majority of the agency and give me more freedom. But that relationship would have never started if it wasn't for him putting himself out, dropping his ego, understanding that to me there was no worth, my perception of his worth, and instead he just offered me that free trial, which then blossomed into that relationship. And there have been other people that have done this as well, like Lucas from Hamby Media. Lucas now owns a 7-figure content agency. Absolutely smashing it. It's got a beautiful office, loads of team members, incredible clients that they've worked with, some of the biggest e-com brands that you would have heard of. But when Lucas first worked with me, he recorded the Affluent launch video for free. We went to Greece, I took him out, and he recorded this entire video. He made the whole launch, created a storyboard, we uploaded it to YouTube. I made a shit ton of money from it, from this video that he created for me for free. And since then, I have given him so much work. I've referred him to everybody that I know, and he scaled his agency to 6 figures on a monthly basis. But when he first worked with me, he hadn't done any major content projects before. But it was that conscious decision to put himself out that then transpired into this snowball of other successes, into all of these other opportunities. And so I want you to think about that. That one simple choice to drop your ego and your pride could transpire into all the opportunity that you've ever been seeking. And I did this myself as well. It was like my 3rd or my 4th client. I'd already signed up a couple, skin of my teeth, I might say, and I blagged a lot. I did have experience in sales, which did give me an advantage. But it was like the 3rd or 4th client I was in a meeting and I clashed heads, just butted with this guy. It just did not trust me. I'd got to the stage of pitching my price, but he just didn't trust that I could actually do this. I could tell because he was just like, nah, I just don't want to spend this money. And I remember having a conscious conversation in my head that it would be more worthwhile me dropping my ego and offering my service for free for just 2 weeks, get enough proof of concept within that time, because I was confident I could do it within that time, for me to show that I can actually do this. If I do achieve XYZ result, a specific result within this time frame, that they will sign a contract to actually work with me. And we did that, and it worked, and I signed up that client. Actually, so happened to not be a very good client at all. That's a story for another time. But I made that decision to drop my ego and offer that free trial, and that's why I signed that client. And I see so many people in this same predicament that don't take that opportunity because they believe that they are worth more and they believe it'd be more beneficial to just move on to another client. When I truly want you to understand, and please make the effort to understand, that a case study and experience is worth more than any amount of money that you can get paid when you're first starting your agency. And it's that commitment that'll put you further ahead than all your competitors. What's the framework? If you're gonna offer a free trial, how do you do it? Now, I do believe the caveat to this is that you should not just be going out there and just offering free trials on willy-nilly, right? Don't just email people and be like, oh, I wanna work for you for free. Oh, I wanna cold call, and you're just like, hey, I can do this. Because what that's actually gonna do is the reverse of what you're trying to achieve from a free trial. A free trial needs to be positioned as a favor, almost like a last resort if someone says no to you pitching the price. It needs to be positioned like, let's say someone says, well, no, I can't afford it, or no, I don't want to do that. I just don't think I want to go ahead with this service. And you're like, look, I truly know that I can get you results. After everything we spoke about, all your problems, I understand the position you're in. I understand the position you want to get to. Let me just do this for you for free for 2 weeks. Let me prove to you that I can do this, because I know we're strangers, there's a trust issue right now. Let me prove to you that I can do this. And then at the end of those 2 weeks, if I get you some results, then we can work together. Does that sound fair? Something along them lines. Make sure it's like in your tonality. But you offer it from the perspective of, do you know what? Like, it's so frustrating to me because I know I can do this for you. And I know the only thing standing in the way of us working together is trust. So why don't I just give you that trust? Why don't I just do this for free? I'll do it for 2 weeks, I'll prove to you it works, and then at the end you can work with me. Fair? So it's like a last resort, it's a favor. And the framework of that is, it's always a 2-week free trial. You never want to do a month. Like, a month is just too long. Like, if it's a client that's demanding a month, and actually no business really needs a month. If you're doing local lead generation like you should be when you're first starting out, if it's in a niche that's been proven, you can get results within a couple of days. Enough for them to know it actually works, enough for them to actually want to work with you. If it's e-commerce, and you shouldn't be signing up e-commerce clients when you're first starting out, but if it is e-com, you just can't really offer free trials. because then you really do need like a month or whatever. So yeah, I just wouldn't advise that. You're just gonna end up wasting your time. When you're first starting out, it's lead generation or nothing. So you offer this 2-week free trial, and what you need to do is make sure that the business is willing to commit to spend at least $250 or £250 within that 2-week period. What you absolutely cannot do within that period is agree to them spending a minute amount of money that isn't going to get you results. Probably the absolute minimum you can get away with is like $150, £150. But 250 is going to be pretty safe for you when you're doing this trial. You want to make sure that you have all the odds in your favor. Now, of course, the business still has to pay for that ad spend. You're not going to cover that ad spend yourself. They still have to pay for that. But you reassure them that you're not taking anything from that, and the money comes straight out of their bank account from whatever advertising platform that you're advertising on. My advice for you would be Facebook ads, because Facebook ads is going to be the quickest win for you that you can get for any kind of local business. And what you're going to do is you're not going to spend time creating any landing page. You're going to find out their best performing offer right now. So let's say it's an esthetician, someone who does Botox, fillers, and so on. Probably going to be like a group of treatments. Let's say it's laser hair removal. You do that in groups. So you might want 3 treatments for the price of 2. So let's say that is their offer. You have the conversation with the client and you use that offer. You're going to take that offer and you're going to create an ad and run it as a Facebook lead form ad. Don't bother creating a landing page, there's no point. A Facebook lead form ad with maybe 1 or 2 extra qualifications on the actual form itself. You're going to be spending anything from $5 to $15 per really good qualified lead. What this will do is will generate enough leads to get enough proof of concept for the client to want to work with you long term. But the only challenge that you're going to face here is if you generate leads, the client has to then go and actually book them into their availability. If they're an aesthetics clinic, they're going to have to call those leads up that you've generated and book them in to their calendar. And if they're not very good at sales or they don't reach out to those people on time, then they might not be able to do so efficiently. And they're going to say, hey, you've generated me leads, but we haven't actually managed to get any business from that. So if you feel confident in doing so, and this is a very easy thing to do, I would recommend you actually appointment setting those leads on their behalf as well. So when a lead comes in, you send them an SMS very quickly. You can set up an automation for this on something like Go High Level, or you can just be on top of it yourself, send a notification to your phone every time a lead comes through and just send them a message and book them into the availability. Obviously, you're going to have to change your script depending on the industry itself, but book them into the availability of the client on their behalf so you can control the sales process and you know there is no room for an excuse from the client. Now, I didn't mention targeting, but targeting will be very, very simple. You're just going to target the geographical area around the business. A good rule of thumb is that you don't want to target anything more than 15 minutes travel time away from the business. Again, this is industry specific, but it just wants to be geographical targeting. Don't worry about any interest-based stuff unless it's like aesthetics, and I would target women over men. Now, the final thing is we don't really want to be testing multiple offers because you're probably not going to have the budget to do so, but mainly you're not really going to have the time to do so. So we want to make our best judgment. This is a one shot, okay? We have one shot to make this work. Our best judgment on the best offer and the best creative. The targeting is simple, it's just geographical. And the likelihood of you getting results within that 2-week period are very strong if you're doing it for niches that have been proven with offers that have been proven in the past. That's how you offer a free trial. And when you're first starting out, you're probably only going to have to do this with 2 or 3 clients. Many of you won't have to do this. As I said, some of you will get fortunate and people will just say yes to signing up with you and paying straight away. But if you are at that crossroads and your ego is facing you and you have to make that decision, don't screw up. Choose experience and case studies over money when you're first starting your agency, and you will go a lot further, a lot quicker. Sweet. That's it for now. Cheers.